Hi, my name is Cold Beer and let's start with Factory Town. This is a real treat for automation, base building and sandbox fans. Here you'll create a giant factory using conveyor belts, trains, chutes, pipes and airships. You can sell your goods to nearby villages to expand their borders, increase happiness and unlock better skills. As your earnings rise, you can research new technology to improve your supply chains and grow your civilization. There's no enemies or starvation to worry about, so you can enjoy a stress-free logistics challenge to maximize production and happiness. A perfect game for a calm evening with your mother-in-law. People on Steam are saying that this is a hybrid between Banished and Factorio, and everyone who had low expectations with the game were surprised with what they actually got. I especially like the one comment on Steam stating that the game is kinda chill but gets repetitive. He has 440 hours on record. I wish every game I ever played was this repetitive. Doom Eternal. Definitely, this is one of the most entertaining first-person shooter games ever. Here, Hell's army has invaded Earth, and you must show those puny demons the way home. And by the way home, I mean you have to splash their intestines all over the place, walk in their blood and be as awesome as humanly possible. There are only a few games with such entertaining combat as Doom Eternal, but it also has a big flaw almost everybody hates. That is platforming. Yeah, here you occasionally have to jump over rivers of lava, climb walls and make precision leaps over and over again. That stuff is completely not cool when you play in the first person. I don't know why John Romero decided to ditch the Doom franchise and instead went and made Empire of Sin with only 49% of positive reviews on Steam, but I can feel with my butt that if he was in charge, the platforming part of Doom Eternal would be gone. Amid Evil. This is a retro-looking first-person shooter built on Unreal Engine 4, continuing the carnage of legendary Heretic. So if you are old enough and Heretic plays some strings in your mind, you already know that this game is worthy of your attention. Overwhelmingly positive reviews should help as well. Here you'll find 7 distinct episodes, each featuring a completely different setting and enemies, also magical weaponry that can be overcharged with the souls of the dead, and endless hordes of evil to eradicate. Players on Steam are praising the game because of its awesome music and visuals and incredible weaponry. There is also a VR version of the game available. Also, you can try a free demo as well. Tannenberg. The game brings the massive battles of the Eastern Front and the First World War to life with 64 players fighting for control of key sectors of the battlefield, each one offering a distinct strategic advantage. Here you'll find authentic atmosphere with accuracy in everything, from maps and weaponry to uniforms. The game has great tactical squad-based FPS, players Romanian, Latvian, Austro-Hungarian, German or Bulgarian. But I have to warn you that if you don't have 64 friends, just forget about those 64 player battles. Still, the price is nice and so is the game. Vaporum. This is a grid-based single-player and single-character dungeon crawler RPG set in an original steampunk setting. The game is obviously inspired by old-school games like Dungeon Master, the Eye of the Beholder series and the most recent Legend of Grimrock. So here, stranded in the middle of an ocean in front of a gigantic tower, you have to find out what the place is, what happened here, and most importantly, who are you and where the secret beer stash is. The game looks beautiful, so if you like dungeon crawlers, keep in mind that this one has very positive reviews on Steam and is a true gem for your collection. Hunt Showdown. Here you will play alone or in teams as you search for clues to help you track nightmarish monsters and compete against other hunters who are after the same reward. Here you'll have to kill and banish your target, which will be some really horrible monster, but you will treat it as a sack of money instead. Collect the bounty and then get ready for the showdown. Once the bounty is in your hands, every other hunter on the map will be after your prize. Hunt has a very positive review score and it's very addictive, although it has a really steep learning curve and there is a huge chance that you will be shredded to bits by other more experienced players. Despite that, almost everyone is saying that this game is awesome and super fun. Atom RPG. I should probably start with the fact that I was born in the Soviet Union and I saw the reality of this country with my own eyes, so I can clearly say that the post-apocalyptic Soviet state is better than the real Soviet Union. You know, because of the freedom to do stuff and speak freely what you think. And also here you can shoot bad guys, that's a plus in every society I guess. So basically Atom RPG plays like classic Fallout or Wasteland titles. The setting is different but all the mechanics are basically the same. You have many skills and they influence your gameplay. Also here you will not only fight various bandits and mutants, but also read a lot of well-written text. If you like this one, keep in mind that the second part of the game, called Trudograd, exists as well. Games are not Russian, no taxes will land in Putin's bloody pocket, and that is great. Far Cry 5. You will spill rivers of blood and your victims will drown in their own liquids because you are awesome and they suck. Your task is to stand up to cult leader Joseph Seed and his siblings, to spark the fires of resistance and liberate the besieged community. In other words, you will have to get rid of fanatics without any political correctness. You can play alone or in two-player co-op in this vast open world. Use a huge arsenal of weapons from rocket launchers to shovels and take control of iconic muscle cars, ATVs, planes and more to engage the cult forces in epic fights. The bad thing is, as always, Ubisoft launcher with all the DRM problems, so it seems like the company treats you like a thief in advance. And paradoxically, you know where you could find the game without DRM? On various pirate sites. They removed it. So what is the point of punishing us, paying customers, when pirates can enjoy the game without any stuff like that? You suck, Ubisoft. Solasta, Crown of the Magister. You'll discover the shattered world of Solasta, explore ruins and dungeons for legendary treasures, learn the truth of an age-old cataclysm and stop it from happening again. You will be able to create your own party of adventurers in the classic tabletop RPG tradition. The choices you will make while choosing various skills, traits and backstories of your heroes will reflect in their dialogue. You know, if some of them are born in Potato Saladistan, they will always be enemies with the guys who put pineapple in their potato salad, and with these characters you will dive into long-forgotten dungeons to unearth ancient artifacts. But stay watchful of light and darkness. Many dangers hide in the dark, but a light can attract monsters as well. Some enemies have dark vision, some may flee from your torch, but, you know, as I always say, the best way to light your way is with fireballs. It doesn't really matter if your enemies have dark vision or not, a fried monster is always better than a raw monster, so the game is pure treasure for a CRPG fans, and also it includes Dungeon Manager, so you can make your own stories and maps, or play some good ones created by way more talented people than you. Also keep in mind that the game has 3 DLCs and 1 supporter pack available, and those DLCs along with the base game are constantly on one sale or another, and there is no better channel covering sales than this one, so subscribe, don't miss a good opportunity in the future. Black Mesa. This is actually a Half-Life, just with better graphics and better, you know, everything. Keep in mind that this is not just a simple remaster, this is a quality remake that expands the scope of the original and massively improves its final chapters. The game is made by fans and it is made so well that it is an owner of overwhelmingly positive reviews. And to be honest, today Black Mesa is the best way to experience Half-Life. No clunky old school graphics, no compatibility problems, great gameplay and a really interesting suspenseful story. To say short, Half-Life is awesome, and Black Mesa may be the greatest way for you to play it. People on Steam are saying that Black Mesa is one of the best remakes ever made, and the game doesn't give you any reason to disagree with these wise words. Astroneer. The game is set during the 25th century intergalactic age of discovery. Here, astroneers explore the frontiers of outer space, risking their lives in harsh environments to unearth rare discoveries and unlock the mysteries of the universe itself. In this space sandbox adventure, you can work together with other players to build custom bases above or below the ground, create vehicles to explore a vast solar system, and use terrain to create anything you can imagine. So basically, you are invading beautiful planets with beautiful nature and making an industrial hell out of them. Yeah, screw nature, the galaxy is full of it. People on Steam are saying that here you are your own worst enemy. You will fall off the cliffs, touch deadly plants and forget something at your base that is half a galaxy away. Yeah, anyway, very positive reviews are here for a reason. Almost everyone loves the game and there is a huge chance that you will love it as well. Shadow Warrior 2. You shall need to survive as a mercenary on the edge of a corrupted world. You will wield a devastating combination of guns, blades, and magic, and with these awesome tools you will eradicate the demonic legions overwhelming the world. You can play it alone or in 4-player co-op. Game features procedurally generated landscapes, powerful new weapons, armor, and arcane relics of legend. You will find an array of over 70 lethal blades and explosive firearms. Choose your weapon based on the situation at hand and then dismantle everything anything that stands in your path with an advanced gore system.
You don't need to be this intact, kind sir.
The game also has destructible terrain that explodes in satisfying ways. It's like if you put the Borderlands and Doom into the Cronenberg's machine, and the Shadow Warrior would be the result of the merging. The game takes about 8 hours to beat, so the deal is really sweet. Absolutely delicious spoon of juicy potato salad. Cossacks 3. This is a remake of the classic game that originally launched in 2000s. Here you'll find 20 nations, 120 different unit types, and over 220 different buildings. That sounds like an overkill, and believe me, it is. But it is also really fun to play. This game is like ultimate epic battle simulator before it was cool. Also, besides the battles on land, you can build an armada of battleships and attack your enemies at sea. The game offers 5 single-player campaigns. Cool feature is that the game lets you fight massive battles with up to 32,000 soldiers simultaneously on one battlefield. Just be sure that you have that NASA supercomputer for that. Far Cry 4. Travel to Himalayas into the fictional country of Kyrat, and of course try to overthrow the oppressive regime of the dictator in the process, because you know, that's what we do, right? Casually traveling around the world, drinking piñatas, and then boom, you are the leader of some separatist movement in the country that you have never even heard of before. And yes, I know what piñata is, I'm just trolling you. Of course, Far Cry 4 is not the newest title of the franchise, but it is still a great game with a great price. The world of Far Cry is really impressive and alive, with terrain spanning from lush forests to the snow-capped Himalayas. The entire world is teeming with life and deadly encounters. Leopards, rhinos, black eagles, and vicious honey badgers. This is a home of untouched wildlife, so every time as you embark on your hunt for resources, know that something may be hunting you as well. Verdun. The game takes place on the Western Front in one of the bloodiest conflicts in world history, inspired by the famous Battle of Verdun in 1916. So the game is the first-person shooter multiplayer set in a realistic setting of the First World War. The vicious close-quarters nature of trench warfare means that skill with a bayonet can be as vital as good aim with a rifle, so prepare for some melee action as well. The game offers 4 modes with many historically accurate features, such as realistic First World War weaponry, authentic uniforms, horrendous gore, and maps based on the real battlefields of France and Belgium. People on Steam are saying that the game is criminally underrated, so if you are thirsty not only for beer but for blood as well, this may be your spoon of potato salad.
Wait, what?
I don't know, man, sounded cool in my head. Grim Dawn. Among all the games similar to Diablo, there is no doubt that Grim Dawn is one of the best examples ever made in this field. More than 90% of positive reviews can confirm that with ease. Here you'll be able to enjoy the dual class system. Combine any of 6 distinct classes with over 25 skills and modifiers per class, meaning that your hero will definitely be some kind of unique abomination nobody else has. Although I can say from my own experience, if you are playing for the first time, don't do that. Swallow your dignity and just watch some tutorial of the most powerful build possible, because otherwise you may end like me. You will nurture a warrior who does cool magic, but later in the game is completely useless, and that drop of quality is huge, from a Gandalf to a Las Vegas magician.
I will tell Pen Gillette about this blasphemy, he will make you disappear.
Oh, no, please don't.
It's too late for that.
Call of Juarez, Gunslinger. This one and other games of the franchise are probably the most popular and well-known first-person shooters set in a Wild West. Here you will play as the best gunslinger West ever saw and blur the lines between man and myth. This adventure made of memorable encounters will unveil the untold truth behind some of the greatest legends of the Old West. And I'm talking about Billy the Kid, Pat Garrett, Jesse James, and Dick Penison. Oh, come on, who wrote this?
You did.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, with a gun holster tied to your leg, become a ruthless bounty hunter on a journey made of all-out gun battles. Master the art of blasting pistols, shooting rifles, and dodging bullets.
Metaphorically, right?
No, it's exactly like in The Matrix. You can slow time and actually dodge bullets. How cool is that? Also, I really like the narration part of the game. It is trying to hold your attention even when nothing is happening. Let's say you climb the ladder, but at the same time you are listening to the story, and that is really cool. People are comparing the style with an action RPG game Bastion, which also has the narration implemented. This is a really great invention, and I wish that more games had something like that. Well, with the ability to turn it off, of course. Hard Reset Redux. This is an action-packed and hardcore single-player shooter which embraces the best qualities that the genre has to offer. It includes loads of enemies, great weapon variety, a challenging campaign, and a beautifully realized cyberpunk setting. You know, this game is quite cool. If you like shooters, you will probably like this game as well. It's as simple as that. People in comments are saying that the first levels are a bit boring for an experienced gamer, but later it's game on and it's really worth your money. And just look at that price. Any argument against obtaining this gem is invalid, and it has very positive reviews as well. The Outer Worlds. It is definitely one of the best RPG games I have played in recent years. It is funny, it has secrets, many guns and places to explore. It's not just Fallout in space. I had more fun playing The Outer Worlds than I had playing Fallout 4, even if this is a bit smaller game. I can absolutely give it 9 cold beers out of 10 and recommend it to you without a doubt. But I have to mention that it has some cons as well, like unbalanced difficulty. You know, at first you die a lot, but later everything else dies in seconds, even the strongest monsters. Then you may think,
hey, I will switch from hard to the hardest difficulty.
But you can't. You have to play the whole game on this hardest difficulty without switching it off, because developers decided to add some stupid achievements most of the players don't even care about. So you will feel overpowered all the time and you can't do anything about that. That's why I didn't buy and didn't play the last DLC. I already feel like a combat god, everything just dies when I blink. BLACKTAIL. Here the choice is yours. Will you become the guardian of the woods or the terror nightmares are made of? You play as Yaga, a 16-year-old girl accused of witchcraft and expelled from a medieval settlement. Well, I know what I would be doing after that. Definitely not helping poor folk from the aforementioned village to heal their sick cattle. No, I would rather secretly put pineapple in their potato salad. Also would turn all their delicious beer into milk.
Milk of a cat.
Yeah, milk of a cat or of a hamster. Anyway, he will decide the fate of the land and its inhabitants, and witness the impact of your decisions on your skills through an implemented morality system. People on Steam are saying that the game feels more mature than the visuals it provides, and the story is really dark and captivating. Townscaper. What a beautiful game this is. Well, it's hard to call it a game, to be fair. There are no goals or gameplay, just plenty of building and plenty of beauty. That's it. As developers say, Townscaper is an experimental passion project, more of a toy than a game. Pick colors from the palette, plop down colored blocks of houses on the irregular grid, and watch Townscaper's underlying algorithm automatically turn those blocks into cute little houses, arches, stairways, bridges, and lush backyards. You can build your own cold beer town, cold beerville, or even whole cold beeristan and enjoy the amazing view. Game has overwhelmingly positive reviews and I can see why. Creepy Tale. This is a hand-drawn short adventure game with creepy and at the same time lovely illustrations. Here suddenly everything turns into horror and drags you into a series of terrible events. Your brother has been kidnapped and you are left face to face with an ominous forest filled with dangers and strange creatures. You will have to solve the puzzles that you meet on the way. Do not let yourself be caught and save your brother. Also find out the dark story that befell the once calm and peaceful forest, turning it into a creepy place filled with evil. And by saying evil, I don't mean pineapple on pizza or in potato salad level of evil. Nothing is that evil. People are saying that this game is charming and will suffice as a bedtime story before you sleep. It's only 2.5 hours long, in other words, short enough to keep your attention the whole time. Crowns and Pawns, Kingdom of Deceit. Are you ready for some hot point-and-click action? Yeah, I know, you probably are not, but this game, apart from an interesting story, is a proud owner of the Best Game Made in Lithuania in Year of 2022 award. Yeah, we are a small nation, AAA titles are rare. Honestly, there are none probably, but this indie game is actually good. The story follows a girl from Chicago who unexpectedly receives an inheritance from her grandfather, a house in Lithuania. She sets off to Europe, but upon arrival she is threatened by an unknown man, demanding to give up her inheritance. So I don't know, maybe a member of the local mafia. But honestly, there aren't any real mafia in my country. When we joined the European Union some 20 years ago, all the bad guys left for London, leaving Lithuania a crazy safe country. Probably one of the safest in the entire Europe. Anyway, it's up to you to crack the riddle of your inheritance and learn all the secrets. The Beast Inside. Here you'll play as a CIA employee, Adam, who leaves a huge city and moves to the countryside with his wife. All you need is to work in peace and silence on some secret military code that could change the outcome of the Cold War, so the countryside looks like a perfect choice. And as it turns out, absolutely unexpectedly, this area is quite opposite of a peaceful place. Game is basically a walking simulator, but in most dangerous situations you will be able to use your gun and shoot your way out. That is the worst part psychologically. You know, when you are in an ominous environment and suddenly the game gives you a gun, you don't feel safer somehow, quite the opposite. The price is great, so if you like spooky walking sims, it's a must-get, I think. The Surge 2. On the way to Jericho City, your plane is shot down by a mysterious storm and crash lands in the outskirts. You wake up weeks later in a derelict detention facility inside the city. Armor-clad soldiers enforce martial law. Robots are on a rampage and a dark expanding nanostorm looms over the cityscape. So long story short, everything here wants you dead. But you're not some lame puny peasant, you have your mechanical sword and can beat enemies with it and take their parts and make yourself better in the process. Imagine if you hand wrestle with a coworker you hate, then you win and take his eyes as a prize. Well, that took a dark turn rather quickly, right? Terminator Resistance. I remember seeing a trailer of this game a few years ago and I was like,
This probably will be a flop.
and I ignored it on my false prejudice for years. Why false? Well, it has more than 90% of positive reviews on Steam, not too far away from overwhelmingly positive titles, so it's almost a masterpiece. The game is a first-person shooter set during the Future War scenario that was only glimpsed in the first two iconic movies. The machines are destined to lose, but at what cost? So basically here you will run and gun or sneak and hack through Skynet's defenses, level up your skills and explore a post-apocalyptic world for scraps to trade and craft, also interact with other survivors and change their fates. People on Steam are saying that this is the real Terminator 3, as it should have been. It contains an amazing atmosphere, also interesting story and developed characters. And now, thank you for watching, and don't forget that in my channel you can find hundreds of videos like that with new ones released almost every day. Have a nice day and I'll see you next time. Bye.